What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we need to take a little bit of a look, well, at a bunch of news. You see, Digimon stuff has been happening. There's a bunch of news stories in Digimon, and we need to have a little bit of a look. And we should probably start off looking at some of the weirder news, or less expected news, call it what you will. We have had a couple of erratas for cards which came around in BT8. Of course, BT8 is just coming out, depending on where you are in the world. US release date, I believe, is tomorrow as this uploads, depending on, obviously, whether anything changes. And there are a couple of level 6 black Digimon, don't know why, they just happen to be, that have gone and received an errata. Now, as it stands, remember, the way erratas basically work is that we read the card differently to how it's printed. Generally speaking, we don't tend to see new versions of the cards issued because that's a little bit awkward. So essentially, we've got the wrong text on the cards that are actually printed and gutted, I suppose. But we do have some scans of cards with the corrected text, which I suppose is better than nothing. So starting off with Alyum on there, what it says, the version that's been printed has a skill on your turn, once per turn. When one of your effects places a Digivolution card under this Digimon gains 2,000 power and cannot be deleted by your opponent's effects until the end of your opponent's next turn. Problem is, that's not actually how the card works. How it actually works is, on your turn, once per turn, when one of your effects places a Digivolution card under one of your Digimon, this Digimon gains 2,000 power and cannot be deleted by your opponent's effects until the end of your opponent's next turn. What the difference is there is that this skill activates when you put a Digivolution card under any Digimon. It does not specifically have to be under Alyum. And this is one of those erratas that makes a difference. We all know that X-antibody, the whole shtick, or at least one of them, that we see in those kind of cards is that you can place Digivolution cards. That's kind of what you do. Alyum, when Digivolving, you can place a card with X-antibody and its traits from your hand under this Digimon as the bottom Digivolution card to delete a Digimon with a play cost of 7 or less. Obviously, if you're using Alyumon's skill here, then you are going to be putting it under this, and it's fine. The thing is, this isn't the only card we've seen that has this kind of skill. There are a bunch of them. Alphamon from BT9's got an evolution skill. Place one card of X-antibody and its traits from your trash to the bottom of this Digimon's Digivolution cards. You know, this is just one example. There are loads. We don't need to go through a million examples. But obviously here, Alphamon's skill puts a card under it, and with the errated version, will activate Alyumon's skill, whereas the unerrated version, it wouldn't, because you've put the card under Alphamon. You've not put the card under Alyum. That's a big difference. This actually does make a fairly big difference, so make no mistake about it, this is pretty gosh darned important. Now, the other one is a bit less important, but not unimportant. It still could absolutely have an impact. It is the Blackwall Greymon from BT8, one of the decks I lost to at the regionals at the weekend. Boo, etc. And it's got a couple of skills, but one of them is, on all turns, once per turn, when an opponent's Digimon is deleted, unsuspend this Digimon. That's what the card says that was actually printed. What it should say, the errated version, is, you may unsuspend this Digimon. And that's not the same thing. The way it's actually written is, you are obliged, you are forced, you have to unsuspend this Digimon. The way it actually should read is, you can if you want to, but you don't have to. And I know that for some people that's not going to make a big difference, and for a lot of decks, that's not going to make a big difference. However, it absolutely is going to make a big difference to some decks. Now, general rule is you can attack suspended Digimon, you cannot attack unsuspended Digimon. Similarly, you may well give yourself an inheritable skill as Blackwall Greymon to give yourself blocker. And the deck I was playing against was absolutely giving themselves blocker. That was one of the problems. They built up a very impressive stack with blocker and reboot, and they can attack unsuspended Digimon. It went badly, alright. But my point is, you can block if you're unsuspended, not if you're suspended. You cannot be attacked if you are unsuspended, but you can if you're suspended. Most of the time, you want to be unsuspended. But there are a bunch of Digimon out there that do gain advantages for each suspended Digimon you have in play, for argument's sake. Take Bloom Lordmon as an example, one of the new ones we've just seen in BT10. On your turn, for each 2 of your suspended Digimon, this Digimon gains plus 2,000 power and security attack plus 1. I'm not actually sitting here telling you that people are going to be playing a Bloom Lordmon Blackwall Greymon deck. They're probably not. But that's not the point. Somebody may wish to. And actually, in that kind of deck, you want to leave yourself suspended. Now, look, I know that if you're unsuspended, you can attack again, but you might not wish to attack again. You may not want to attack blindly into the stack, and there may be no Digimon on the field you can attack. Like I've said, the Alyum one is really significant because there are a bunch of skills that will put Digimon under your other X-antibody, and actually you want them to activate the skill. Here, way less significant because a lot of the time unsuspending is what you're going to want to do. My point is, there are some circumstances, although less likely, where you will want to, and you should be able to. You should have the choice. Now, moving on to a different news story, that Tamers Set Volume 5, which I told you is going to be coming, It went on Premium Bandai over in Japan a couple of weeks back. It has now found itself on Premium Bandai over in the US. It costs $35 and it is coming out on December the 22nd. You have a pre-order period from May the 9th, which is of course a couple of weeks ago, until June the 2nd, which is about a week away. If you haven't seen this and you want to get this, good news, you have very much still got time. What you basically get here is an X-antibody set of sleeves, which literally has just the X-antibody symbol on, and you get yourself a playmat which has got Alphamon fighting against Omnimon X-antibody. And I kind of appreciate this because these cards, and not everybody realizes this, they're actually from 2 different sets. So the Alphamon we see on the artwork here is from BT6, Double Diamond, but the Omnimon X-antibody is actually the one from BT5, Battle of Omni. And those 2 cards go together to make this rather lovely image. So yay! Secret rares from, 2 sets, or from 1 set, apart from 2 separate sets. So this is kind of cool, this is kind of relevant, this is awesome. If you got $35 to spare, or you're a big fan of X-antibody, this is awesome. I'm going to skip this one personally, and the reason is super simple. I don't have infinite money, and for me, I'm saving my money for the promo packs that have, cards in. I've got 1 billion playmats at this stage. I don't need any more. And then finally, we've got confirmation that store tournaments are happening in May to July, and they are going to once again feature the official tournament pack Volume 5. We've already seen this because this was the same for the store events that have just happened, but that's not the point. The point is, they're staying around. And for me, this is really cool because, of course, the Tournament Pack Volume 5 has got the Ghost Game promos. So you get 1 card per pack and you've got 3 pairs from Ghost Game. You've got Hero, Amanakawa, and Gamamon, Ruli, Tsukiyono, and Angoramon, and Kiyashiro, Higashimitarai, and Jellymon. And these are cool, they're mechanically unique, they can't be gotten elsewhere, they are ones you absolutely want to get. The winners pack, you've got alternate arts of Goblimon, Gabumon, Demimeramon, and Antilabon. And even though I played Goblimon in like 1 billion different decks since it first came out, I can't bring myself to get excited about an alternate art version of it. The art's not that stunning, and it's not a hugely interesting card. It's just a 2 cost to play normally, level 3. It's fine, but it's not one I'm getting overly excited about. So if tournaments, if you are going to those in May, good news. These are sticking around. And honestly, the official Tournament Pack Volume 5 you should like. You should be happy it's sticking around because it's really cool. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. That's the news for today, and now it's over to you guys. Tell me what you think about these erratas. Tell me if you go into any stores to pick up these event packs. Tell me if you're interested in that X-antibody set. Wait, X-antibody set. Go nuts in the comment section, but be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWazzy. That's where we talk Digimon and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wassy Plays.